If he hadn't decided to visit the grave that morning, he would have never discovered the secret his son took to the grave, and the two lives quietly waiting for forgiveness beside it. This is a story about loss, love, and a second chance so unexpected, it brought a billionaire to his knees. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, comment, share with someone who needs hope today. Subscribe for more real-life inspired emotional stories. The sky over Maplewood Cemetery was an unbroken stretch of gray. Wind rustled through the ancient oaks, and the scent of damp earth clung to the morning air. Leonard Grant stepped out of his black Rolls-Royce in a three-piece suit, shoes polished to perfection. A billionaire by every financial metric, but a broken man inside. He didn't visit often, just once a year. June 27th, the day he lost his only child, his son, Jeremy. A car crash. Head-on. Drunk driver. Jeremy had just turned 26. Leonard had been too busy finalizing a merger that day to answer his son's last call. The marble headstone stood as tall as Leonard's pride once did. Jeremy Adam Grant, beloved son. 1995 to 2021. The grave was covered in lilies. Someone had been here before him. Fresh ones. That was strange. Leonard blinked and took a step forward. But he wasn't alone. Kneeling before the headstone, a woman sobbed quietly. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Her clothes were simple, a stained yellow uniform from a local diner, and beside her stood a little boy, maybe 4 years old. He clutched a tiny blue dinosaur and looked at the grave like he understood everything and nothing all at once. Leonard froze. For the first time in decades, words didn't come easily. The woman turned suddenly, her tear-streaked face jolting when she saw him. She stood up quickly, flustered, brushing her skirt as if caught doing something wrong. I'm sorry, she said. I didn't think anyone else would come today. Leonard's voice was hoarse. Who are you? The little boy tugged her hand, whispering, Mommy, is that Grandpa? She turned pale. Leonard's entire body stiffened. What did he just call me? She knelt, scooped the child in her arms. Let's go, Michael. He stepped forward. Wait. Who are you? The woman hesitated, then met his eyes with both fear and defiance. My name is Anna. I used to work the night shift at Harper's Cafe, near the university. Leonard blinked. Harper's? That's where I met Jeremy. 4 years ago. Silence. He used to come in at midnight. Always order the same thing. Coffee. No sugar. 1 cream. We talked for hours. And when he stopped coming, her voice cracked. He never got to know. I was pregnant. Leonard's eyes narrowed. You're lying. The child looked up again. Same piercing blue eyes. Same dimpled chin. The resemblance was uncanny. Jeremy's eyes stared at Leonard from a child's face. I don't want anything from you, Anna said. We've managed without the grant money all these years. I just wanted him to know. I just wanted Michael to know where his father was. Leonard sat down on the marble bench beside the grave, stunned. The storm of emotions inside him churned: grief, anger, disbelief. He had spent millions building Jeremy's legacy after his death. But the real legacy, his grandson, had been living in a tiny apartment above a diner. How could he not tell me? Leonard muttered. He was scared. Anna replied. You never approved of anyone who didn't come for money. Jeremy loved you, but he also feared you'd rip us apart. Leonard didn't respond. He stared at the boy who was now quietly arranging petals on the grave. Then something shifted in Leonard. A flicker of something old. Hope, maybe. Or redemption. Does Michael know who his father was? Only that he was kind, smart, and that he's in heaven. Leonard nodded slowly. Come to the house, he said softly. Tomorrow. Anna hesitated. Why? He swallowed. Because I need to know the part of my son I never met, and because I might have something left to give. She stared at him, and slowly nodded. That night, Leonard didn't sleep. He sat in Jeremy's untouched room in his mansion, flipping through old journals, finding photographs, reading messages his son had once left on his phone. Each word carried new weight now. Dad, I know you're busy. Just wanted to say I met someone. She's different, kind, and I think she's going to change my life. Leonard closed his eyes and wept. The next morning, Leonard waited in the drawing room of his estate. Everything was spotless, modern, cold. Too many walls and too few memories. The butler announced, "Miss Anna and the boy are here, sir." Leonard stood up slowly, heart pounding. When Michael entered the room, he looked around with wide eyes. "Is this a castle?" Leonard chuckled for the first time in years. "Something like that." Anna looked overwhelmed. But Leonard offered them tea, then gently showed Michael a small wooden box. "Jeremy carved this in high school," he said. "It used to hold his chess pieces." Michael opened it reverently. "Did my dad like games?" "He loved them," Leonard said, "especially ones he could play with people he cared about." Anna watched the two of them, heart heavy with emotion. Over the next few weeks, Leonard began to change. He started having dinner at Anna's apartment once a week. They cooked together, watched cartoons with Michael, even read bedtime stories. The press tried to catch wind, but Leonard was careful. This wasn't about image. It was about something deeper, a chance to fix what was broken. But not everyone in his empire approved. His board of directors, especially Philip Crane, his late wife's cousin and CFO, warned him, "You're giving away control, Leonard, and to a waitress with a child that may not even be his." Leonard's fury was instant. Jeremy loved her. "And I will not abandon my grandson like I once abandoned my son." He signed papers that made Michael the heir to the Grant Foundation, with Anna as his guardian trustee. Not for publicity, but for justice. One night, Leonard invited Anna back to the grave. Just the two of them. He knelt beside Jeremy's headstone. "I missed everything, son. Your first love. Your first heartbreak. Your first child. I was always building something, chasing something. But I never saw what mattered." Tears welled in his eyes. "You gave me a second chance through him. I'll spend whatever life I have left making sure your son never feels unloved." Anna placed a hand on his shoulder. And in that still silence, something finally healed. Michael came running moments later, laughing with a flower crown he had made. He placed it on the grave. "This is for you, Daddy." If he hadn't visited the grave that morning, he never would have discovered the part of his son that still lived on in the eyes of a little boy, and the heart of a woman who asked for nothing but love. Sometimes, life takes everything away, only to give back what matters most.